Hello, hello out there. I hope I find you well. Just got done with my animal communication course. It's a certification course that I'm taking over the next several months. It's a 6-month course, and it was such a nice practice we had today. How to stay in the present as we're doing our, actually just in life in general. We did an exercise on how to deep listen. Now that was really cool. Just to put everything else aside, all your thoughts, all your worries, all your fears, like everything, just put everything aside, and we had to listen. We did a breakout session, and we each told a story, and we had to really listen, like put everything aside and really just listen to the story, and try not to put any judgments or expectations or thoughts, like own thoughts, into the story. And it was really cool when we told back the story to the person who told it, to see how much you do actually kind of get distracted, and all of a sudden you're missing all these details, right? Because this person says something, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, well, that happened to me, and then you go off and you start living that story, and you miss everything, all the details in the story. And so I just thought it was a really cool practice to teach you how to really stay in the, how do I say it? Just in the presence of right now, just listening to one thing, and not letting all the distractions take you away from the story, where then you miss the details, important details that you need for the story, right? For the situation. So we're talking about going in and doing consultations for people who want you to communicate with your animals. And if you miss the fine details because you're off in your own head, because of something they said, and now you're distracted, and now you're thinking of this, and that leads to this, so you're not listening, then you miss the important details of what they need, what they need from you, right? So I just thought it'd be cool to come on here and share that with you, and then do a card pull. And today we're going to see what you might be missing in the details. So we're going to ask the cards, universe, what are we missing in the fine details? What are we missing? Okay. We're going to do groups today. We'll do group 1 and group 2. And I'll pull a couple of cards for each group, okay? The deck I'm using right now is the Inner Child Oracle by Amanda Lynn Aisling. And I love the inside of the box. It says your ultimate healing comes from within. All right, so sorry, just checking up on my dogs. All right, so for group 1, let's pull 2 cards from this deck, and then I'll pull a dragon card. Dragon card deck I just got recently with the other Hay House order. Oh, and I'm sorry, if you don't know who I am, my name is Mel, or Melissa, and I'm glad you found my channel. I'm still new to the whole YouTube thing, but starting to learn. So the second deck we're using is the Dragon Oracle cards, and that is by Diana Cooper. And I just have a love for dragons. I always have for a really long time, so I was drawn to those cards. Okay, so group one, what are we missing in the present of now that could be helping us get through the month of October? What are we missing? What are we missing in the presence of now that could be helping us get through October? Group one. Okay, I'm going to do a quick little shuffle here. All right, do 2 cards for group one. Okay, and then we'll do 2 cards for group two. What might we be missing in the present moments that could be helping us through the month of October? Okay, so group two, 2 cards. Okay, and then I'm gonna pull a dragon card. Group one, what are we missing in the presence of now that might be helping us through October? Okay, and then group two, what might we be missing in the presence of now that could help us through October? Okay. Okay, and those cards are both in reverse, so definitely pay attention to the dragon cards. But we're going to start with the inner child. Okay, so group one. Wow. Just going to flip this upside down. Okay, so we have number 15. It says, get lost, fall deep in the realm of imagination. Oh, that's a cool one. Pretty cool. Okay. Card 2 is number 12. Emotions are the reflection. Look for deeper meaning. Wow. There's a lot in that one. These are really pretty cards. And then pay attention to the dragon card. So you got the dark blue galactic dragon. Whoa. Helps you listen to the voice of the universe. Ignite the codes of your master blueprint. Access cosmic wisdom and enter higher service. Ooh. So what I'm getting here for group one, I'm actually getting a really spiritual feel for this. I feel like you need to go, maybe you're not listening to your inner thoughts, or you're not listening to the divine messages, right? The first card here, it's get lost, fall deep into the realm of imagination. So many times, see it there with the big chandelier and all these, like, there's different kinds of flowers in here. I just realized that. There's maybe peonies or roses up here. I see kind of like lily pads where I feel like there would be lotus flowers. And then I feel like these might be like hydrangeas, right? We're just going to imagine that those are hydrangeas. There's all these little fairies everywhere. And then it's in like this grand hall with this beautiful, giant, ornate chandelier and arch openings, doorways, and everything is grand and big. And what I'm hearing is It's okay to get lost in the imagination, because sometimes the imagination is actually just messages coming through, right? You think you're imagining it, making up a story, but it's not. It's not just a story. Listen for the moments that you're like, I'm not, I wouldn't have thought that's not something I would even imagine. Those are the messages, right? So get lost in the imagination of, really just like go back to like being a kid when you're looking up the clouds and you're imagining that there's a dog in there. What does a dog mean to you? Start thinking about what a dog means to you. Well, a dog is loyalty, right? So then you can just start kind of making up the story, but listen to it, like really listen to it. What is it really telling you? What does it resonate for you? What is it telling you that you need more of or less of in your life, right? Just kind of play with it. Maybe it's not all messages. Maybe you just have a really good imagination, but that's great, right? Imagination is great because that's where we come up with new ideas, new ways to do things, maybe for the better. I really like that. Get lost in your imagination. Go be a childlike and just make up the story. And then when you're done making up the story, see where it resonates the most within you. Because that's probably where you need to improve your life in some way. Right? And then the emotions are the reflection. Look for the deeper meaning, right? Kind of like I already said, right? Like go within that imagination, within that story that you're kind of like making up in your head. Where does that story feel in your body? Where does it feel in your body? Do you feel it in your heart? Do you feel it in your gut? Do you feel it in your foot? Emotions are a reflection. Look for deeper meaning. So if you're telling yourself that that story and you start getting emotional and you feel it in your heart, maybe there's some healing that needs to be done there. Or maybe you're like really happy and you're like, oh, I need more of that. More of that. And again, I see these like kind of like these down in here. It's like water. They look like lily pads to me. And then you do see like the lotus flowers, right? Lotus flowers have to get through a lot of dirt and muck and grime to come up and be a beautiful flower and see the sun for the first time and grow, float, and just be. And then there's the sun with these two I think they're swallows. Maybe not. I'm going to say they're swallows. I don't really know much about swallows. But the sun to me, they're going straight for the sun, right? They're looking for the light. They're heading for the light. Always look for the light in all the situations, right? Look for the light, look for the love, look for the peace, look for the magic. See all the magic down here? Same here. Fairy magic, maybe. That's what my imagination says. There's magic everywhere, guys. There's magic all around you. So go deeper, go within, get lost in your imagination, and pay attention to your emotions, because they were a reflection of what is going on inside, okay? And then the dark blue galactic dragon helps you listen to the voice of the universe. This is where that imagination comes in. This is where emotion comes in as well, but mostly that imagination, right? Because we can't see the universe, we can't see the spirit. When I say universe, I mean like God, the almighty oneness. The dark blue dragon is telling you to listen, which is great because this whole reading is about listening, right? Listening to your imagination, listening to your emotions, listening to the universe. Ignite the codes of your master blueprint, access cosmic wisdom, and enter higher service. I really feel like if you're group 1, you chose group 1, you have a very important job to do here. And that is a service for the higher, for everyone, really, because we're all one, right? We're all connected. We're all part of the same planet, same we're all one. And the blue dragon is asking you to go higher, to be of service of a higher value. And that can be spiritual work. It could be, it could just be that you're a good listener, right? And there we go again, listening. Some people just need someone who will truly, honestly listen, and to all of it, not a distracted listen. They're needing someone to completely, utterly hear them, hear everything, and understand and care. So you have some big work to do, right? Maybe you already are working with spirit, but I think this is definitely a sign for you to start thinking about it if you're not. All right, we'll cut that cord. We'll move on to group 2. Okay, group 2. So the first card is number 26. It says practice freedom. Release the weight of judgment. Ooh. This is something y'all should be doing right now, regardless of what group you chose. There's like a golden eagle in the galactic universal, I don't know. It looks like they're up in space with a big old rainbow here. It's a pretty cool card. Okay, number 2, card 2. It's actually number 1, and it is upside down. Okay, so that's it in reverse. And what I'm noticing in reverse, I'm not even like reading the words right now, is the reflection, right? And it looks like northern lights, but it's upside down, so I know it's probably water. But to me, it looks like northern lights, which is in itself very magical. And then when you flip it over, it says, a time to remember. Look back on your childhood. For some of us, that could be good. For some of us, that could be a little triggering maybe. I really like this card though, because it's asking you to reflect, right? Because those northern lights I saw are now a waterfall that is reflected in a pool of water. Okay. And then the third card was also upside down. Okay. So your dragon card, and your dragon card is a silver lunar dragon. Bathes you in divine feminine light. Come into balance and practice peace, harmony, and cooperation. Expand your casual chakra. I wonder which one is casual. Again, like there's a lot of like magic in here. What I'm hearing from this is there's some stuff in your past that have been like holding you back. These cards are asking you to remember and then release it, right? And that by that, you're going to bring yourself some peace. So the first card is the practice freedom card, that eagle card I showed you. Release the weight of judgment. So I'm just feeling like you guys have been judged your whole life, probably. Very much. Either for who you are, what you look like, what you do. And we've all been there. I get judged for this kind of stuff, right? It is okay. Because if I stand in my own personal truth, I get to practice freedom. If I don't care what everyone else thinks or says, I get to practice freedom. I get to spread my wings and I get to fly to the universe with a freaking rainbow behind me, right? So in this case, where we're asking what we should be listening for, I would say to stop listening to all the negative judgments, all the negative comments, all the, well, you should do it like this, or maybe you should do it like that, or maybe you shouldn't do it at all, or maybe you should wear this, maybe you shouldn't wear so much makeup, maybe you should wear more makeup. Like, who cares? If you're happy in who you are and your truth, and that's your freedom. That's your freedom right there. So spread your wings and just do you, right? That's the saying. Just do you, boo. And I just heard like everything's not rainbows and butterflies, Mel. This is true. But who cares? Because you got the freedom to let that stuff go. You get the freedom to focus on what you want to focus on. That's how you get your wings. And then it's asking you to, the cards are asking you to look back on your childhood. Maybe some of those judgments are coming from you because of what you've been programmed to think, to do, to wear, to say, to act. So just go back to a time in your childhood and just kind of listen to that little person. What were they thinking when they were being judged back then? How did that change your perspective on life? What values did that give you? And then reflect on it. And I even say all the negative stuff, just burn that shit up. Throw it away. Yeah. And that water flow back there. Right? Just go with the flow. That's a big, like all these waves. This wave here. That's all to remind you to go with the flow. We have to do that. Otherwise, we're gonna make ourselves crazy, right? So go back, remember, and then reflect, and then burn up what you don't need anymore. Throw those judgments, throw those ideas out the window, and just stand in your truth. That's how you get your freedom. And then there's the big full moon up in here with the lunar dragon, the silver lunar dragon, right? Bathes you in divine feminine light. Doesn't that feel good? Just to know something bigger has your back, right? Doesn't expand your casual chakra. I think this also just kind of like, to me, what I'm getting from that casual chakra is just don't sweat the small stuff. Like, just go with it, right? We're back to going with the flow, being free. Practice peace and harmony. Being free and letting go will bring you to peace and harmony. So don't forget that you can have peace and harmony in your life, no matter what your life looks like right now, no matter what you're going through. There is a way to get to peace and harmony. There always is. And cooperation. There's people that support you and they're there for you and they're non-judgmental and have no expectations. Keep them around, because those are the people that are going to help you. All right, guys. So group number 1, get lost in your imagination. Remember that the emotions are a reflection. So go in and look for the deeper meaning of that emotion to get to the root of whatever's going on. And then, you're here for a higher service. You're here for a universal service. However that looks. Then group 2, practice freedom, release the weight of judgment. Go fly with your rainbow. Look back on your childhood and reflect. Burn up the stuff you don't need. And then let that divine feminine light shift out on you. Oh, Indy's confirming. Get to peace and harmony. You can get to peace and harmony regardless, right? All right, guys, I'm going to leave it at that for today. If you would like a private reading, please reach out. I am booking sections at this point. If you need healing, I'm here for that as well. And if you need more guidance or have questions about today's reading, just give me a shout and I'll see if I can pull something a little deeper for you. All right, guys, I will call it good. With that, we are at 30 minutes. Wow, and 17 seconds. Okay. So I will see you again in the next video. And I hope you have a wonderful week. We'll see if we can do this once a week. That might be fun. All right, guys. Have a good one.